5, episode 63. This week I'm reviewing Insidious Chapter 2, the sequel, as you might guess it, to Insidious. Recently watched Insidious on Amazon Prime. Sorry, Amazon Prime subscribers, it's not free. I had to buy it for $9.99. But I had heard good things about it, and I was not disappointed. I thought it was fairly original, very spooky and scary, kind of great usage of music and camera angles, and just generally a pretty scary movie. Insidious Chapter 2 is not as good, but I did enjoy it. I've seen a lot of the critics like tearing it apart, like it stole something from the critics' families. It's less a sequel. It's a sequel, but it really is literally a continuation of the story. So it picks up right from the end of Insidious 1. And I found it scary. I found it very tense. Not as scary as the first one because there's a few more moments of levity. If you don't have any idea what this thing's about, it's your basic horror premise. And I kind of like the fact that between The Conjuring and this, both of which star Patrick Wilson, so he's becoming really the Olivier of white middle-class suburban dudes being haunted or fighting with demons. He's found his niche now. I like the fact that the occult and kind of the afterlife is being brought in, because it seemed like that was, for a while, that was being taken out of horror movies, I guess because society had become too secular or skeptic. But I like the kind of mix of the occult and religion and afterlife into horror movies again. The Conjuring being the best example of that in recent memory. But this movie, it's good. The critics hate it. It's not as good as Insidious. I would say if you're looking to save some money this weekend, just go try to rent or buy a cheap copy of Insidious, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a scary movie. It's clearly done sort of on the cheap, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's just kind of clever. But yeah, and I have no problem with Insidious 2, but I'd rather you go watch Insidious, the first one first, and if you like that, then maybe you won't blame me if you go see Insidious 2 and then get mad because it wasn't as good. So I'd give this movie a B. Fuck it, I don't care what the other critics say. I'm going to give it a B. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the first one, which I would have probably given like a B plus A minus. But if you catch a matinee, if you've already seen Insidious, catch a matinee. I thought Patrick Wilson, who I spoke of before, I feel like some people will compare his performance to kind of Jack Nicholson in The Shining, but I would compare it favorably. Like, I thought it was a very good turn he does as kind of a good and bad character in the same being, basically. So that's it. This wasn't that funny, and I'm sure a lot of you don't like horror movies. But if you like horror movies, go see Insidious 1. Don't go see it. Get it on demand or something, or Amazon Prime, like I said, has it on instant video. And then if you like it, I think you'd like Insidious 2. You may not think it's as good, but what sequel really is as good? But I think it's a worthy follow-up continuation of the first one. Okay, so there it is. There's my sort of professional, not that funny review this week. Next week, I'm reviewing Prisoners with Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. I think that's supposed to really be the kickoff of Oscar season. Who knows? Maybe it'll suck. Okay, thanks. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Wanna get the feeling, gotta get the feeling, gonna get the feeling once again. Wanna get the feeling, gotta get the feeling.